So let's talk about the things that Toyota got right with the 4th gen Tacoma and the things that they got wrong, or at least things that they need to improve upon, I guess. Number one, and I don't know how anybody could possibly argue this, it's the power, right? It may not be the prettiest looking thing in the world, and it does not have a cover, of course, and it sounds horrible, like a sewing machine, but I have to say, this new 4-cylinder turbo, or at least new for the Tacoma anyway, is awesome. More powerful, quicker, more torque than what the 3rd gen was. Definitely something that Toyota got right. The look of it. You know, I got to admit, when I first got the Toyota Tacoma, I was a little skeptical about the look of it. Different lines, different features, really a whole different look for the truck, but still close enough that you wouldn't mistake this for any other truck on the road. And I think Toyota got that right, because after having 3 of them, that's right, this is my 3rd, not because there was anything wrong with the previous 2, I just chose the wrong models, but the look of it is awesome. On the interior, the tech, and I'm talking about the new screen, the new gauge cluster, all digital, nice big giant 14-inch screen there in the center. Even the way the controls are set up, the way everything looks on the inside of this truck, it is awesome. They did a fantastic job with the interior, in my opinion. Definitely an improvement when it comes to technology over what we had in the 3rd gen. And honestly, the 3rd gen was getting a little long in the tooth, I think. So they definitely did a good job there. Ride quality. The thing rides almost like a luxury SUV, right? Glides down the road, nice and smooth. And if you leave it stock and don't do anything like put on bigger, heavier 10-ply tires like I did, you're going to be quite impressed with the way that this thing rides. I think they did a fantastic job on the 4th gen Tacoma. Lastly, in the list of things that Toyota did right, the modability of the truck. You know, one of the biggest reasons that I buy Tacoma, in addition to its quality and performance and all of that stuff, is the ability to mod it, to make it my own. And I've done several things on this truck, from the bank stuff under the hood, the grill, which you can still change. It's a hell of a lot more involved, I guess, but you can still do it. Lighting on the front, hooks on the bottom, of course the wheels and tires. We've got the sport bar on the back, which, by the way, does fit both the 3rd gen and the 4th gen, because I've had it on both. You can even swap out things like the hood scoop. I went with a black version myself. I'll call it the cheapo eBay version. I think it was 60 bucks. Swapped out the mirror covers to black because I like that pro look. I think it looks really good on the truck. Down low, we've got rock sliders that I put on, and they are real rock sliders from Toyota, about 50 to 70 pounds a piece, something like that. Moving on to the back, of course, all of the stuff in the bed, the hooks and the grab handle type things. They're really strap hooks or hooks up there. On the far back, we've got some more D-rings or shackles, as well as the step over there. Just all kinds of extra things, and that's just the exterior that you can add to the new Tacoma. And I think it's great that Toyota kept it so that we could do things ourselves. Maybe they're aware that we like to mod their trucks, right? Now, let's move on to the bad things, the things that Toyota got wrong on this truck. The number one most glaring thing, I think, is fuel economy. You know, I'm getting like 14.8 miles per gallon, something like that. It is horrible. Granted, I have added things which detract from the fuel economy, but really should not have taken it as low as it is now at 14.8. I think they could do better. How about the driver's seat? Now, this is for those who have the manual seat like I do, I suppose. I've mentioned this before. We've got the lever really in the wrong position here. When you slide in and out both ways, your rear end slides across this lever, pushes it down, and the seat drops. You know, when I first got the truck, I thought maybe it was haunted in some way. That every night somebody got in my truck and lowered my seat for some crazy reason. No, it's because your rear end slides against that lever and lowers it one notch every time. They need to just lower that lever a little bit, I guess, and the problem would be solved. Next up, rear seat room. You know, this truck actually has a little bit less in it than what we had before. I mean, you can see the way that I sit, you don't have a ton of room here, right? Now, I'm a whopping 5'9.5", and I can only imagine if you were taller, say 6'3", 6'2", whatever, and had to come even further back, the rear seat room rather just disappears. Definitely not enough. Another area where I think they probably should have just left things as they were is the way the rear seat folds up. Unfortunately, and you can see, mine does not stay up. So if you're trying to do something down below and you need two hands to work on it, you're going to have to deal with this. Their solution, add this cheapo strap with a little button hook on it or clip on it that you fasten into the seat itself. I can only imagine if you use that feature enough times, it's going to start to tear away at this little area on the seat where that nub is. Not a great idea, and of course an area where they really should have done better, I think. Lastly, the paint. I've heard numerous complaints about the paint quality rather, on the new Toyota Tacoma. I haven't really experienced any big quality problem, except for in manufacture. I noticed when I look at the hood in this area here, and I've even heard of people having problems here. It's like when they painted the hood, they kind of set it up on something to dry, and the paint ran to the corners and kind of formed a little bubble on each edge, right? And it's a rough looking bubble. It isn't even smooth. And I can't imagine how long it's going to be without doing anything with it before that degrades bad enough that you have some sort of a problem and you either have rust or some other issue with that paint problem. Of course, people talk about the white color having no clear coat, being very thin. We shall see, I suppose, which way that goes. Hey, thank you. Got a little mail here. Anyway, just a few things, some areas I think where Toyota got it right, but other areas where they didn't. Leave a comment. Let me know if I've missed anything. If you're an owner, what do you think of the new Tacoma, and what areas do you think they got it right, and where did they go wrong? I'd be curious to know. Real quick, if you haven't before, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on the web. Bye.